My dudes, how are we doing today?
Good. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. So I want to start off with a quick question here for you.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with baseball, but
love
I've been
it.
thinking long and hard about it. So
That's what she said.
so if you had to eat from the same restaurant for the rest of your life, now to clarify, I'm not talking about like whenever you feel like going out to eat, you have to eat at this place. I'm talking like you have to eat all your meals at this place, like twice a day, lunch and dinner every day. Okay. I'm gonna give you options, so don't think too hard.
Oh, okay.
Your options are Chuck E. Cheese,
Okay.
Starbucks,
Okay.
Okay.
a strip club, or a hot dog stand.
Do we get to pick the strip club?
Sure.
Do we get to pick the titties we see at the strip club?
No.
You know what? I'm not even picky. As long as they're there, I'm excited to be there. I'm going strip club.
I'm going hot dog stand, dude. Give me them glizzies. I'm gonna eat some dogs all day.
Okay. I'm gonna go Chuck E. Cheese.
Why?
Really?
Food, beer.
Oh, I guess
Strip
I
club.
can't get beer from a hot dog.
You get
stand.
food,
Shit.
beer, and naked women at a strip club. Like that's the trifecta.
Yeah, but I would feel dirty just being a strip club twice
You
a day.
picked Chuck E. Cheese. What's dirtier than Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, you have to show up to a Chuck E. Cheese twice.
I'm not a
day.
weirdo though. Well, I guess I would be a weirdo if
It
I
is
was Chuck E.
pretty
Cheese
weird if you
twice
do
a day.
Right. You would be on the list for
All right.
sure.
Hot dog stand.
Sick. There's a bunch of different styles of hot dogs, so like I feel like I can step it up enough to make it work for a while. But ooh, the titties do kind of seem intriguing.
And have you ever had hot wings at a titty bar before?
No.
There's just something enjoyable about hot wings and a beer and a pair of tits in your face.
Oh my goodness.
There's
gracious.
nothing more American than that.
Let's get into baseball, boys.
You're listening to the Upper Decker Podcast.
Welcome back. It's episode 66 of the Upper Decker Podcast. I'm your boy Ty.
I'm your boy Tone.
And I'm your boy Dan.
And the boys are back in town, baby. Episode 66, I pulled Yasiel Puig. We're just going to talk about that boy real quick. Couple little fun facts. So he was actually the first player in history to win Rookie of the Month and Player of the Month in his first month in the MLB.
Nice.
So came over, he defected from Cuba, signed with the Dodgers, and just started raking right off the bat. So he played in 26 games in June 2013. He slashed 436, 467, 713, and
Jesus.
had an OPS of 1.180 with 7 home runs, 5 doubles, 16 RBIs, 19 runs, and 4 stolen bases, bros.
With a fucking cannon
With
in
a
the
cannon.
outfield to go
Right.
along with it. Doesn't feel like that was 8 years ago.
Ain't that insane? Yeah, he's been around for 8 and he's already basically out of the league, but that's his own doings, I think.
Yeah.
He fell 4 hits short of Joe DiMaggio's record for most hits in a player's first month. So DiMaggio had 48 hits his first month. Puig had 44 his first month.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
That is
awesome.
crazy.
When Puig first got over here too, he had an English teacher and a chaperone kind of trying to show him the lay of the land and how to speak English and all that. After Puig no longer needed him, they still kept in touch or whatever. And the man's name was Tim Bravo. Tim's son actually ended up with some form of cancer, and Puig offered to pay for all of the treatments and everything.
That's awesome.
So he was no longer even, employed by Puig, but Puig was like, yeah, I'm still going to hook you up for sure. I appreciate you on all that.
Dude, that's badass.
And
That's
then
really cool.
I just want to get into a little bit of Puig's defectation from Cuba. Okay. Because it's a little crazy. So he obviously lived in Cuba, had to defect over here. Aroldis Chapman had to do the same stuff. Jose Fernandez, bunch of people, but I forget who we were talking about in the most recent weeks. But Tone, you were talking about how somebody was allowed to come over here from Cuba, and that's something that hasn't really happened before.
Right.
So other times you come up with things like this. So Puig was actually brought over by a legit human trafficking ring. So they hired somebody out of Miami to go down and get him and bring him up here so that he could become a resident of Mexico and then come over to America from Mexico.
Sure.
So while he was being trafficked, the human traffickers found out who he was. They didn't know that he was supposed to be like the next big whatever. They found out he was Yasiel Puig, found out he was going to be a Major League Baseball player. And they were like, well, we didn't know that we were carrying precious cargo. So you can pretty much double the numbers that you offered us, or he's going to show up without a finger, without an arm, without a hand, and he'll never play again. And you guys just wasted your money anyways.
Jesus.
So,
wow.
In the middle of all that happening, a rival ring, a different human trafficking ring, swooped in the middle of the night, successfully stole Puig from this other human trafficking ring, got Puig to Mexico City. He got his papers a few weeks later, came into America, and almost immediately signed with the Dodgers and reported to spring training and stuff. But apparently there were like 2 or 3 guys showing up to the spring training hotels and the camps, and they were like threatening Dodgers officials saying, hey, you signed this guy. We got him here. You owe us money.
Dude, I need this movie.
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy. So Dodgers officials were getting threatened. One of the guys from the ring who stole him from the original ring, one of them was abducted and never seen again. Somebody from the original ring was murdered. Like, this shit is crazy, man.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I guess at least, sucks that the rest of that happened, but, good on Puig for getting over here safe and, giving us 8 years of enjoyable baseball playing time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to believe, too. We haven't seen him play baseball in a year and a half.
Right.
Where's he? He's in the Mexican League right now, isn't he?
Mhm.
Isn't that where he signed? Yeah. I haven't looked at his numbers or anything, but hopefully he's raking enough to where there's still time for him to sign in the major leagues this year if he wanted to. So
Right, for
if somebody
sure.
wanted him, I should say.
True.
All right, Mr. Tone, let's do some birthdays, buddy.
You guys ready for some birthdays?
Let's do some
Sir.
birthdays.
All right. So first up, we have Aaron Nola, the starting pitcher from the Philadelphia Phillies. He is 28 this week. Surprisingly, not a ton of accolades for the guy for who's considered kind of an elite pitcher. 7 seasons in now. He was an all-star in 2018, finished third in Cy Young voting that year. That was his best season. His brother Austin, as you guys well know, plays for the Padres.
Yes.
Which leads me to a little bit of a question for you.
Okay.
Which of active players,
Okay.
people playing right now, what set of brothers would you most like to have on your team? The Nolas, the Sheffields. We've got the Seagers.
I think.
yeah.
I think that's my answer. That
The
was the first one
Seagers.
that came to
Yeah,
mind.
that's probably
Mhm.
that left side of the infield with those two locking it down
Yeah, that would be a good one.
and batting like 2-3 or 3-4. Yeah, that'd be nasty.
Gurriel's wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, that was my second option. And then if you go the pitching route, you got the Rogers brothers,
They're doing really well this year.
Taylor and Tyler.
Or one of
right?
them is, at least. Yeah, Taylor and Tyler. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got also the Gordons. Dee's younger brother just made an appearance this year, I believe.
Oh, really?
And-
Unfortunate news. D. Strange Gordon was released last week, I think. by
That's
the
true. I guess they're not
Reds, I
active
believe,
then,
yeah.
huh?
Unfortunately. Yeah,
the Contreras brothers aren't too bad either.
yeah,
Wilson and Williams.
Yeah.
William.
yeah, for catchers. Yeah, I still probably got to go with Seagers though. I think that's probably the easy one there. And poor Aaron Nola, man, like the reason he's probably never won a Cy Young is he pitches against Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom every third day, fourth day, whenever he faces off against them.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, I think we all agree Seegers would be the number one pick there. Nola and probably Gurriel for me would be right behind. But
I'd probably the exact same order, actually.
Yep.
Okay. Just curious. All right, boys. Next birthday is the man Jake Peavy. He is 40 years of age this week. Interesting. He hits the Hall of Fame ballot next year.
Cool.
I doubt that he's going to receive a ton of consideration.
Sure.
But he has a very odd career because it's kind of hard to ignore a guy that has a Triple Crown, a Cy Young Award, 2 ERA titles, 2 World Series wins, and a Gold Glove.
I forget he has a Cy Young.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember Jake Peavy being that good until you like listed all that off. And
right, but here's the thing: all of that said, he had a career WAR of 39.2. He ended his career with an ERA of 3.63, and he, despite his 2 World Series rings, he didn't do a whole lot in the postseason to really help his teams. He's got a career postseason ERA of 7.98 and a World Series ERA of 9.58, which is between 3 starts that he had over the course of 2013 with the Red Sox, 2014 with the Giants when they both won.
So that was going to be my question: is if it was all starts or if he made a relief appearances too, which could skew that a little bit. But if it's all starts, then that makes it even worse.
No, I think it was all starts, but just I don't know, just a very interesting profile for a guy like Peavy. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, if I'm just being honest. But
yeah, I don't either. But I love Peavy. Like I loved watching him pitch, especially when he was dominant. But
right,
he dealt with a lot of injuries throughout his career too, so that kind of skewed the numbers there. And
sure.
He literally had a start where he detached his lat. Do you guys remember that?
I don't, but that sounds disgusting.
Yeah, he threw a pitch and walked himself off, like holding his back because he detached his lat muscle from his back.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
man. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's real rough.
Yeah. All right. Next birthday and your Tony Tone's dope name of the day. It is
Hell yeah.
Truck Hannah. Look
All
at
right.
that.
What did
Dumps
she ever
like
do
a
to you?
truck. Am I right? Am I right, boys? Oh man. This is James Harrison Hannah. He was a catcher, played 3 seasons for the Yankees. But he played professional ball for a long time. He's actually one of the only people that has played professional ball in 5 different decades. So
Whoa.
he came up with Tacoma in 1909, and he got his last hit with Memphis in 1940. Pretty crazy. Yeah. He was also the Yankees starting catcher in 1920, which gave him a front row seat to watch one of Babe Ruth's greatest seasons, in which he broke his home run record of 29 that he had set the previous year. Babe hit 54 that year, which stood till next season when he broke it again and hit 59, which stood for a few more years until he broke it again and hit 60. Another Truck Hannah fact. His daughter was actually part of the All-American Girls of Professional Baseball League. That's the full title, All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. The same league that inspired A League of Their Own, the famous Tom Hanks baseball movie.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Just watched that a couple weeks ago, actually.
So, because this is a dope name, I had to bring this up. In reading his bio, he was just surrounded by dope namers. He was scouted and recruited by Honest John McCloskey. Honest John.
Yep.
Oh, Honest John. Got it.
Yep. He was rated by another scout named Dad Meek. That was for you, Ty.
Thank you.
And he on the Yankees, he battled another catcher named Muddy Rule.
Oh, that's an
Muddy
awesome
Rule.
name.
Yeah, I like
That's
those.
pretty tight, bro.
Yeah. Another fun fact for you: he was once picked off at second base by the center fielder.
Oh,
Center. He wasn't paying attention. Center fielder ran all the way in. Pitcher turned around. Boom, gone.
yeah. We used to do that in Little League a lot, but I don't think I've ever seen it happen in the majors.
No.
Not since 1911
Hannah.
or whatever it was.
Right.
He was a funny dude. He was always known for messing with the batters when he was behind the plate. and he'd just talk their ears off. But if that didn't work, that didn't distract them. Sometimes he would tap their bat with his glove right before the pitch came.
Oh
Which,
my
I mean,
God.
surely today we get you suspended or fined or something.
Sure.
But yeah, he'd reach up and like tap their bat and like throw them off. If that didn't work, he would sometimes toss rocks at their feet, like just throw gravel at them.
I love it.
Um,
Just a little
and then-
shithead.
yeah,
Right.
and then sometimes he would even, of course, he had a big wad in, right? You know,
Mhm.
and he would just spit his tobacco juice right at their feet. So,
Amazing.
Dude, it probably was short lived because he got the shit beat out of him in the MLBs by batters.
probably, yeah.
Is that your sister out there in left field, naked? Naked. Did she go out with me?
He became kind of a celebrity in Southern California, even though he never played MLB down there. But he was actually honored to throw the first pitch for the Angels' first ever home game back in 1961. So that's kind of cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I told you he had a long career. He estimated himself that he's caught over 2,700 professional baseball games, and he said he broke every finger on his right hand at least twice.
Jesus Christ. Old truck Hannah, dude.
Don't make them like that no more.
No, they don't. Sure don't. So, anyways, those are your birthdays and Tony Tone's dope name of the day.
I'll never get over this.
Yeah,
No,
PV
awesome.
is not happy about Todd
Nope.
Frazier.
Truck
No.
is.
Truck's having a great time.
Nola's just crushing some Kool-Aid and some snacks, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He's
love it.
looking for some orange slices over there.
All righty. Before we move into Wheelhouse, I want to talk about this real quick. So while you're here or after the show, head on over to anchor.fm/upperdeckerpod/support. You can be a monthly contributor of $1, $5, $10, whatever works best for you. Every little bit helps us. Every cent that goes into that fund goes right back into the show. So, you know, me and Tone got new microphones. We sound really good now. We are sponsoring a softball tournament at the end of August 28th. A little bit of that money is going into that to help rent the fields and get some t-shirts and stuff made maybe. So go ahead and head over there. Like we said, it helps the show. It's only going to make it better. We're not going to eat, you know, at a titty bar with that money. I mean, Dan
said he
I-
would.
I
Yeah.
might.
So
Dan might. We won't.
If
for
we
sure.
raise enough, I definitely will.
All right. Fair enough.
And I'll live stream it until I get kicked out.
All righty. So now, Wheelhouse, we got a little bit of who's hot and who's not. Dan, you put it together this week. I'm going to let you lead off here with who's hot.
Yes, sir. We're going to start off with Mr. Evan Longoria.
what year is it?
I know,
Right?
right? Of the San Francisco Giants, which still feels weird to say, too. He went
Yeah.
9 for 23 last week, hit 3 home runs, scored 5 runs, had 10 RBIs, and had an OPS of 1.287. That is a solid week, Mr. Longoria. All the while keeping the Giants at the top of the NL West. What
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck
crazy.
is happening? They're tied technically with the Padres, but holy shit. And they've got the Angels and the Cubs coming up this week. So, I mean, he could have another good week between the two of them there. So, also Tyler O'Neill, speaking of who's hot, he came back from the IL on May 27th. So we're talking about 4 games here.
Mhm.
7 of 18 with 3 home runs of his own, 4 runs scored, 7 RBIs, and a 1445 OPS. Again, Cards are tied for first in the NL Central with the Cubs, and he's got the Dodgers and the Reds coming up this week. So could cool off a little bit this week, at least against the Dodgers, especially since they're getting a lot of their pieces back.
Sure.
So they're going to start firing on all cylinders. And last but not least here, the Tampa Bay Rays, man, they're on a roll. They're 9-1 in their last 10, including 5-1 run last week.
Wow.
And they already won today. So they have a 1.5 game lead in the AL East over Boston. They've got the Yankees coming up, which is going to be a big time showdown because the Yankees are 5.5 back right now. So this is an important series for New York.
True.
And then they have the Rangers after that. So they're on a roll, man, and they're not slowing down. You know who didn't help them to that 9-1 record that we'll talk about later?
Who that?
Fucking Randy Arozarena. Not bitter at all.
I didn't even mention it, but we're going to do our May review after this too. So as we were doing all of that, I think Tampa Bay is projected to win the most games in the majors right now. That's probably helped to, that 9-1 streak that they're on.
As of yesterday's standings, them and San Diego are projected to win 102 games.
Wow.
There we go.
That's crazy, man.
Still a lot of baseball to play, but
I didn't think they'd be able to do it.
Yeah. I shouldn't say projected. I should say they're on pace to win 102 games.
There we go.
Yeah. Right. So then we've also got a little bit of who's not hot here. I'll talk about this one, and Tone, I'll let you follow up. Marcell Ozuna, big oof here. He was arrested for aggravated assault, strangulation, and a charge of misdemeanor battery. It sounds pretty intense. That's not a good look for the boy. I just finally warmed up to him. Finally wanted him back in Atlanta. Now he's doing this dumb shit.
What was it? 468? Was that the deal? 464?
Something like that.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yep. And here we are, year one. So I don't know what's going to happen. I guess we'll have to kind of keep our ears to the ground and see what happens there. But there's been history between him and his wife before. So I'm not saying that excuses him for doing anything that he did now. But last year, his wife was actually arrested for misdemeanor battery against him. And get this, it was on the same freaking day. It was
something about that day.
Man. Sounds like a just completely toxic relationship, but I just don't like. It's not hard to not be a piece of shit of a human being.
Right.
Correct. Right.
Like, just don't hit people, especially your significant other.
Right. Especially if you're a dude. Like, women don't hit men either, but like, come on, guys. Like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
Not to mention, you're a fucking professional athlete.
Right. And they have kids, like their parents. So that just makes it even worse.
Just stay out of the shit.
You have so much on the line.
I don't get it. Why even risk it, bros? It's just crazy. So we'll have to see how that unfolds, I guess. But Marcell Ozuna, big oof. Sir, you are not hot. Get out of here.
Right.
That is true. Oh man, speaking of who's not hot, Baltimore. I mean, not that we thought they'd be on the hot list anytime this season, but they're currently on a 14-game skid.
That's pretty bad.
That's not good.
Ooh, boys, that's not good. At least they have Trey Mancini.
Correct.
Is he still leading the league in RBIs too? I know he was a couple days ago. I don't know if he still is, but either way, he's near the top of it. So.
Yeah, they are on pace to win 52 games this season.
Ouch. Which
that's
is exactly
bad.
what you and Ty predicted, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, maybe we did. I don't remember.
We'll get into it in a minute.
But yep, they're not looking good. Also not looking good. Dave Cavale. I think it's Cabal.
I think it is too.
Really bad look this past week. He is the Oakland A's president. And as you might know, I think we've talked about it on here. Oakland is still trying to stay in Oakland, but there's a good possibility the Athletics could be moving to a different city. Las Vegas is one of the most popular destinations being mentioned right now. And this past week, again, Dave Cavale, the Oakland A's president, tweeted a video of himself at a Vegas Golden Knights game last Monday, which got the A's fans heated. I mean, Twitter, I mean, yeah, I would too, right? Twitter exploded. Some of the replies on Twitter were like, Cavale's in Vegas. Do you really want to lose an NFL, NBA, and MLB franchise? And people were saying, like, this is a terrible look, Dave. Absolutely disgusting. Just like, how dumb could you be? Come on.
Right. I mean, it's definitely not a good move at all. But those people who are asking, like, do you really want to lose an NFL, NBA, and NBA franchise? I don't think Mr. Caval cares because he's still going to be the president of them, whether they're in Oakland or Vegas.
Right.
So,
Right.
but still, you're just bragging at that point. You're just like, hey, look what we're doing out here. I'm checking out the old competition.
That's a Stan Kroenke move right there.
That is.
Yeah.
Kroenke would have just lied through his teeth the entire time and then up and moved him in the middle of the night.
That too. All right, Ty, you got to tell us about the big play that went down last week.
Yeah. So let me get comfortable real quick because this is funny as fuck. All right, so William Contreras. We're talking Cubs, Pirates.
Wilson.
Is Wilson? Yeah, I'm getting them mixed up because there's too many of them now. Wilson Contreras is on second base in a game, Cubs versus Pirates. Javi Baez, we know, all or nothing, kind of swings out of his shoes and either hits it, crushes it, strikes out, or hits a weak little dribbler like he does here. Hits a weak little dribbler down the first baseline. Contreras goes to third, and Javi's running to first. Javi stops dead in his tracks, and Will Craig is like, oh, cool, I'm going to take a couple steps and just tag him. Little does he know, Javi Baez is a goddamn magician, and Javi, like, turns back, and he sees that Contreras is at third and, like, has the potential to score maybe here if he can keep distracting him.
Right.
So Javi creates a pickle between home and first base, which is a sentence never said in the history of the game. And he, like, I understand Will Craig's thought process for about the first 5 seconds. Like, chase him down, get him. Nobody's going to score from second when you've got a runner stuck in a rundown between home and first. Nobody's going to. So commit, go get him, but also, A, sprint after him. B, run faster. He gets more than half the way down. Hey, turn around, go back to first. You're fine.
Right.
Or just backstep. Just keep looking at home, but just be moving back like this. You know what I mean?
And then, I don't know why it took him to the very last second to toss the ball to the catcher to try and get Contreras either.
Weakest toss of all time, too.
You see the very second you see Contreras try to even score, you either blast it behind him at third base, or you get it right to the catcher. Or you get it right to the catcher and get him stuck in a rundown over there, get the lead runner, and then Javi's at first, and who cares then? You're not getting a run scored. You're not allowing Javi to go to second on the passed ball. Like, oh, man.
I can honestly think in my head of like 3 to 4 different things he could have done that would have been better. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, he could have also just sprinted towards home.
Right.
Javi can't go anywhere.
Right.
Like, it's not like Javi can, like, round home and go back to third. Like, he's trapped. Like, just run home. If you run faster than Contreras can run, then you're guaranteed to get Javi out. And then you either catch Contreras at a rundown, or just back him up to third base, and you got the out at least. Like,
or the most common sense fucking thing, just step on first base, you fucking retard.
Field the ball, step on first, and throw home if he's running.
I get he was a couple steps ahead, and the natural reaction is to tag him. Okay, but as soon as Baez starts pulling Baez shit and turning and sprinting back for home, you're just like, okay, you're a fucking idiot. Like, he could have totally changed the way we're talking about this situation if he would have just stepped on first base, because now we're like, what the fuck is Javi Baez doing? Where did he think he was going to go sprinting back to home? But
no, I didn't even think about that. He could have made Javi look like a moron.
Right. And now we're just like, no, Will Craig, you're a fucking idiot. But at the end of the day, he was better than Todd Frazier, at least enough to keep on the 40-man roster. So there's that.
Yep. I just don't get it. I think, like I said, I understand it to an extent, the first 5 seconds. Because you said, Dan, he was in front of the bag already. Sure. Usually you do that. You wait for the runner to come. Sometimes they fuck around and do some bullshit, and you just tag them, and it's over.
Right.
So he got to that point. But once you realize it's going to keep going, dude, you got to do something else. You got to switch it up. Make Javi look dumb, throw home, and then have your second baseman cover first. You've got Javi there, and you're making sure Contreras doesn't score. Right. It's that easy.
Right.
But also, if you watch the replay of it, nobody was covering first either. Everybody was like, oh, they got Javi. No big deal. So once they didn't have Javi and they didn't have Contreras, they went to throw back down to first, and the second baseman, I believe, or maybe the pitcher, was coming in to cover the ball. And that's why they missed it, and it fucking rolled out into right field because nobody was covering because it's the easiest fucking play of all time, and you guys fucked it up.
Not only do you not get the out at first, Javi ends up on second in the whole freaking play too.
Right. He should have just kept going. Fuck it. You know, they threw it away at second too. He just could have kept going.
Around.
Just keep going and then turn back around and run back to second. Go all the way back to first if you want. Grab a drink, get a little bit of water. You know, take a Powerade shot if you have to, and then like head straight to third. Don't even go to second. Just across the field to third. Do some Javi shit.
I mean, if we're gonna be Little League, we might as well take it all the way, I guess.
That's what I'm saying, man. Unreal. All right, boys. We're gonna do some reviews here. We're gonna talk about some standings. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Since we're month end here, so how
about that? How's that look, boys?
Okay, I dig it.
So there's still a couple wild cards out here, boys. I'm gonna be real honest. We were talking about the Rays already, who are just tearing it up. So of course they're leading the AL East. Any other year, I would be hype as shit, but I projected them to not do great and the Red Sox to do a little better. I know the Twins are kind of screwing you over in the Central there, Dan, because you had the Twins winning, I think.
I sure did.
You were the only one of us that had the Twins winning, and they're doing a complete flip-flop, and they are in last place behind the Tigers, if that makes you feel any better.
Well, you know, it doesn't, but I appreciate you asking at least.
The Angels in the West kind of get me. I really thought this was going to be a year, man. Like, I know that they always have pitching problems out there, but you know, I thought the whole pitching by committee and like quantity over quality thing might at least get them somewhere. Not looking to be the case. The NL West, you've got the Giants surprising everybody.
It's crazy.
NL Central kind of is playing out how you expect. Is there any shockers there for you boys?
No, it's actually weird. It's literally the only division that looks exactly like what we thought. I mean,
the only thing surprising is that Pittsburgh hasn't lost more games, but other than that, I mean, those middle three, actually really the top three or the middle three, depending on how you feel about St. Louis or Cincinnati, could be interchangeable. So
right. I think in all of our heads, we kind of had Cardinals winning, Pirates last, and the other three in any whatever order possible. Right. So you know, there's not really much concern there. It's all the same. And then the NL East is still wild. Nobody can win games out there apparently.
One team with I was gonna say one team with a winning record. Are you kidding me?
I mean,
there's 4 games separating the first place from the last place team. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. Nats in last place, which doesn't say much. I mean, they've got 21 wins. Like you said, it's only 4 games separating them from first. The Mets, who have 25. Braves are right behind at 24 and 26. They're dealing with a lot of injuries. I know the Mets are just screwed with injuries right now, too. But I think Pete's on his way back here soon, maybe today, actually.
Had a little setback with Syndergaard.
The Braves officially shut down Soroka for the season. That's done for. Phillies are performing about where I think we think the Phillies would perform. I don't think they're really shocking anybody. Marlins still hanging in there. I mean, we've kind of talked about how they could be this potential sneaky team, especially if the East kind of turns out how it is right now. So, you know, they could go on a Tampa Bay run and come out 10 games ahead in first place.
I'm kind of surprised Fangraphs. Also, just to clarify something for people watching with us right now, the win pace is we just did the math, and based on how many games they've won now, that's what pace they're on for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's based on winning percentage that they're at right now.
Correct.
So if it's like a 562 winning percentage, it's 562 out of the 162, and that's where the win pace comes from.
Right. The playoff odds, however, that's just a number provided by Fangraphs that they use their system to estimate the odds of that team going to the playoffs. And it's interesting to me that I don't think Fangraphs has. Well, how do I say this? I think they're still kind of relying on their preseason predictions a little bit. Like, you look at the NL West, and they're really not giving San Francisco that much credit yet. They've still got them with a 50-50 shot to get to the playoffs, which I mean maybe is fair. And then you look at, you know, teams like, the Marlins you mentioned, they're only half game, I guess, behind Philly, but Philly's got a 12% chance of making the playoffs. Marlins have a 1.1.
Mhm.
Right.
So I'd like to see those numbers. Like, I don't know, give the teams that are doing really well right now a little more credit. Yankees still have a better shot at making the playoffs than the Rays, even though they're 5 games back. So
Right.
stuff like that. But
Brewers too. They have the best
Mhm.
chance in the NL Central, and they're in 3rd place.
one other interesting thing, the AL Central, now it's early still. It doesn't seem like the teams aren't that far apart, but at the current pace, the top 4 teams would all finish at least 10 games apart if they all continue that way. With the White Sox winning 100,
Oh wow.
Indians
man.
winning 89, Royals 79, Tigers all the way down 12 less than that at 67. So I'm curious to see if that division or any other division ends up that far apart.
Right.
Mhm.
Hopefully not, because half the fun in September is watching these tight races and
Sure.
people kind of battling for first place and whatnot. So
I mean, if we were to pick a division that would be kind of separated like that, the AL Central kind of rings that bell. But, we were talking up KC and how good they could be. They've fallen off so hard. Twins are shocking everybody right now and not in a good way whatsoever.
right.
But other than that, I mean, we expected Detroit to be way down there. I think we kind of suspected Cleveland to be towards the lower bottom of the pack. And same thing with the Royals, but not like this, man. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So we go through every month and we see who is correct on the most predictions so far based on what we decided preseason. So as of right now, if you can look down at the bottom right corner of your screen up here, correct positions is Ty with 9. What's good with it? I only had 5 last time, so it seems to all be falling in place. Next time I'll probably have like 24 correct guesses. Tone right behind me, 8.5. Dan, 7. It's a tight race here, fellers. I tell you what.
I also have the most perfect record predictions so far too. Let's
Yeah,
not leave
2
that off.
months into the game. Whatever, bro.
Saying.
We all do have a perfect prediction so far. So, Tone, you have one perfect prediction of Oakland winning 91 games. That's exactly what they're on pace for.
Yep.
Dan, you've got the Mets winning 91, and you've got Miami winning 75. They're both right on pace for that. And then I've got Cincinnati taking 75, and that is perfect. But with I also told you guys how I did the plus or minus 3 wins thing.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever they're projected for and whatever we predicted they would do, I've got 10 within that plus or minus 3 range. Dan, you've got 6, and Tone, you've got 7. So we're all hanging in there, dude.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not like as crazy as it seems. I think it's just the teams that are so out of place is kind of what's throwing us off.
Right. Yeah, if you literally just take Minnesota and you put them in the front of the AL Central, I have it exactly right.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Huh.
So wake the fuck up, Minnesota. Start being the goddamn Bomba Squad again and start pitching.
Right. Oh, what else do we talk about here, boys? Anything else about standings? Or we want to move on to MVP, Cy Young, Rookie Year, all that stuff?
I do want to say one thing.
Okay. Uh-oh.
I have to give you a little bit of credit.
Me?
Oh.
Yeah, the Red Sox are doing really well.
They're so good.
I wore my Red Sox hat just so I could say that.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you, buddy.
I refuse to admit it until after the trade deadline.
I get it. That's totally fine. But that's
Then
what they
we'll
do, man.
revisit it.
I'm not saying they're going to win 100 games, but
Correct. One of the dogs is saying they're going to win 100. Guaranteed.
he's really excited about the Red Sox.
So let me ask you this then. So we've got a bunch of teams on here that are like 1.5% chance, 0.1% chance.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of these teams do you guys think has the best chance of actually making the playoffs out of like the bottom tier?
Like sub 10%, maybe.
Yeah, like bottom feeders, sub 10. Let's go that.
Oh, sub 10, I would say the Royals.
I'm gonna stay in that. I'm gonna stay in that division, but I'm going with the Twins because I do still think they have the power if everyone starts clicking.
I'm gonna go Angels. I'm gonna stick to my guns here.
Yeah.
Because you got Shohei. Oh, well, no, they did just lose Trout for quite some time.
Yeah, he's been out for a little while. He was also ice fucking cold before he got hurt, though. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to stick with my guns and just say Angels just for the fuck of it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of teams. I mean, in the NL Central, with the first place Cardinals not being an amazing team, the Reds could, they're sitting at a playoff out of 8% right now. They could easily sneak up.
I also look at the Nationals too. That lineup has potential, and that rotation.
Yeah, Marlins. Now, granted, New York has had a lot of games postponed, so Marlins have played several more games than I think 7 more than the Mets, but they're only 1 win behind. So if the Mets were to go on a good losing streak, I mean, Miami would be right there behind them. So
sure,
yeah, I think the Reds have a pretty decent chance too. Their offense is just crazy, and I know that they didn't re-sign Bauer and whatever, but if they keep up like this win pace, why not go out at the trade deadline and get somebody instead of trying to ship off Castillo or Sonny Gray? Go grab another pitcher and throw it in there. See what you can do. I mean, their offense is so hot. You've got Suarez going off. Castellanos has not cooled down. Winker is playing on another planet. So
there it is. Maybe they go out and get a John Gray or even a German Marquez or somebody from Colorado.
Just double grade up on a Tuesday.
Oh man,
yeah.
That'd be cool.
Could be interesting.
I guess we'll have to see, man. So what? We've got 2 months left until the trade deadline, end of July, right?
July 30th.
I want this shit to start heating up, boys. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
It'll be. We've seen some people are starting to throw their predictions out there. Still about a month away before you can kind of really get into it, because then that's when shit starts really heating up because you have a better idea of where you're at, and injuries between now and then too.
Truth. All right, boys. What's on the next slide here, Tone? What are we talking, boy?
We're going to take a look at our NL and AL MVP races based on our preseason predictions. Some are better than others, as we'll find out here. But let's take a look at the National League. I'm just listed first, so I'll kick it off with Juan Soto here. He is doing okay.
He's doing all right.
He's doing okay. I'm surprised to see the OPS as low as it is. He's just not hitting for power as much. 267 is not awful. 387 on base isn't awful, but yeah, he needs more home runs. That's it, really. He just needs to start smashing. So maybe he will as the temperature rises and all that. So
that whole team is kind of just underperforming a little bit.
I don't get it. Yep. They always underperform, and I look at them and I'm like, why are you not? They're almost like the Angels of the National League or something.
Yeah. I mean, what still stands out to me though, in that I have faith that he can still turn it around, is he has more walks and strikeouts. So he's clearly still seeing the ball. His OPS plus is still 120, so he's still 20% better, even with the lower OPS than what we would want. So he's hitting well in the right situations. He just needs to let it all click at all times, I guess. So
we have to also take into consideration that, aside from 5 or 6 guys this season, offense is just down as a whole.
Right.
You've got Acuna and Trout. Well, was Trout, Tatis, Ohtani, Winker, all of these guys, they're going off. But other than that, the gap between elite and just mediocre it's huge. It's crazy.
Right.
And I don't know if that's the dead ball that they've put in, the dejuiced ball or whatever, or if the pitchers are just on top of it with the 6 no-hitters they've had this year. 7.
Counting Mad Bums.
Whatever. Get out of here. Talk about your MVP, our MVP, Dan. Get into
our MVP. Well, Mr. Ronald Acuna Jr., one of the outfielders in the NL East, who is hitting the ball pretty fucking well right now. You guys can see the lines here: 278, 378 with a 982, 157 OPS plus, but he leads the league in 15 home runs. He does keep going back and forth on that one, but
he just hit another one tonight. I just got the notification. He's at 15.
So, yeah, I mean, he's not slowing down, right? He's hitting the shit out of the ball. I was kind of hoping to see more stolen bases at this point, but that's also a little bit selfish because I also really wanted to see a 50-50 season, or a bare minimum of 40-40, and, we still could, but
I think they're kind of slowing him down on the stolen bases because it's taking a toll on his body. He's been injured so much already this year, and it's honestly a miracle that he's up here in these numbers still, I think, because he's been down, he's been hurt, he's been in and out, he's been day to day the entire season. He's been like hit by pitches on the inside twice now on his hands, sat out for 3-4 games. He had that oblique injury we were talking about there for a while. So I think they're kind of just like, hey, fucking cool it this year.
Right.
Just go out, crush some dingers, and come back in and take her easy, bud.
Yeah. Is there anybody who in the National League would challenge him right now for MVP? I mean, we kind of mentioned Castellanos or Winker maybe, but
I think Winker's up there for sure. I mean,
Tatis, though, right?
yeah, Tatis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we want to throw in like a fourth place competitor, I don't really generally like throwing pitchers in for an MVP race.
Right.
But if the Brewers were somehow to pull out a division,
Yeah. Corbin
Burns can be in the runnings for an MVP race, I think.
Yeah.
You have to keep that ridiculous pace up all season, though, which
Right.
I think you can. But
Right. We'll just have to wait it out and see.
Yeah. Max Muncy. Did you mention Winker?
Oh, yeah. Muncy. Yeah, we did mention Winker.
Yeah,
I forgot about Muncy, too.
Yeah, Muncy's probably the only other name that I would throw in that you guys don't have on there.
Yeah, that's a real good call. I like that. I like that old Muncy pick.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Tone, go ahead and get this one out of the way, too, because it sucks.
It does suck. Mike Trout is who I picked for AL MVP. He obviously got hurt. He's going to miss a lot of time. His averages were great. Average OBP, OPS, all that stuff. Absolutely incredible. Hitting the crap out of the ball like he always does. But unfortunately, he's hurt for a long time. So barring a Shohei Ohtani injury, which we do not want to see, despite me being behind here. Yeah, barring an injury to him, though, there's no way Trout's going to catch Ohtani in this race. So, yeah, Dan, we'll let you talk about Ohtani for a second.
Yeah, so I mean, from an offensive standpoint, he's still hitting. He's not hitting it as well as he was, but he's still hitting the shit out of the ball. 263 average, 327 OP on base, which is always good. 148 OPS plus, and he is also going back and forth with the home run lead in the American League with Vladdy Jr. over there. That's another fun one to watch as well between him and Jr. The only thing I don't like, he did strike out a lot over the last month. He's up to 60 Ks to only 15 walks, so that's not stellar. But what is stellar is he also is striking out when he's pitching a shit ton of people, 12.4 per nine. To only a 4.7 hits per nine. So he's compiled a 2.72 ERA so far in 36 innings pitched to go with these offensive numbers. So I don't really care how good of a year Vlad Guerrero Jr. has if he can continue doing both, the offensive and the pitching side of the ball. Like, it's Ohtani's to lose right now.
Right. That is actually word for word what I told one of our listeners, Dakota. He was talking about, Ohtani's got to be MVP, right? And I was like, well, maybe Vladdy, like, consider it for sure. And then I started thinking about it more, and I was like, well, if Ohtani's pitching, they're going to give it to him no matter what. If
he's pitching okay, you know what I mean? You still have to count that. I mean, if you're going to look at total WAR, he's going to crush everyone.
Yeah,
right.
Also, just want to point out, though, Dallas Garcia has 16 home runs and 41 RBIs now.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that trade sucks.
Not for me.
Well, yeah. For listeners who don't know, he was a Cardinal and was traded for literally nothing for salary relief. I think there was cash considerations was what the actual trade was.
Yep, he was purchased by the Rangers.
Cardinals are pretty good at scouting their talent, though, boys. Speaking of scouting talent, let me talk about Matt Chapman real quick. He has gone 37 for 178 on the season for a whopping 208 average. His on base is 321. All right, I see it. OPS is a 669. Nice, but also not nice. His 95 OPS plus is a little below league average, so not great there. He's only got 5 dingers compared to, Trout's 8 and Ohtani's 15. RBIs, he's got 21. I guess that's respectable on a team that doesn't really score a lot of runs anyways, but they always sneak out with the wins. He's got 20 runs, kind of keeps it even there. But, man, does he strike out a lot. He's got 67 strikeouts. I like seeing his walk rate going up at least. So he's seeing the ball and he's getting on base. I mean, he's got 110 points difference between his average and his on-base percentage.
Right.
So at least he's getting on and finding ways to be productive. But if he could just hit the ball as well, get that up to like a 250, 260, have a 350, 360 on base, like that'd be fucking crazy. But of course he won't, because Matt Chapman just man the hot corner over there, Mr. Matt,
Right.
and make me look stupid on the offensive side. It's fine.
Cue the Moneyball scene here. Brad Pitt pointing over to what's his name? The chubby dude.
Seth Rogen.
No.
No, don't
No.
leave me out here hanging.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, there it is. Yeah. Brad Pitt pointing over to Jonah Hill because he gets on base.
Right. Correct.
That was
But-
good, guys. We really nailed that.
Yeah, that was a lot funnier up here than it actually was.
It would have been funny if any of us could pull Jonah
Remember
Hill's name.
Jonah-
Listen,
Hill,
it's
yeah.
a 3-day weekend. We know that we're all a little hungover here on Monday, so it's fine. Don't.
Yeah. Well, some
sweat
of us are alcohol hungover, Ty. The other ones are kid hungover. So
Right.
That's why I just don't fucking have kids, boys.
I mean, it's fair.
You guys want to talk some Cy Young?
Yes, please.
All right. Here's what we're looking at.
Oof.
Yeah, how you feeling about that one, Dan? Go ahead, let her rip, Tater Chip.
Well, I'm not feeling so hot about the NL. I felt like slightly on a limb, but half safe with Luis Castillo.
Mhm.
And my God, has he let me down this year? 1-8, which we don't really put too much stock into win losses. But he only has one quality start,
Yeah.
and his ERA is north of 7, and
Yeah.
even his FIP is at 4.76. So like he's not striking anybody out. He's not missing bats. People are hitting the shit out of him. He's got a 12 hits per 9 to an 8.3 K per 9. Like something's wrong with that dude. He's got to be tipping pitches, but if he were, somebody would have seen it at this point and told him. So I don't even know.
I mean, the thing is, too, I don't know how many games he's started, but he's 1-8. So that's, at least 9 games.
Right.
And he's only got 52 innings pitched. So he's not getting deep.
Nope.
He's walking a lot of people. He's throwing a lot of balls, not getting deep into the game, letting up so many runs, so many hits. I don't know if he's just trying to be like you said, either tipping pitches, or he's just trying to be like too perfect. Like he's like,
Yeah, he's throwing instead of pitching or pitching, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? But
I don't know.
I hope to see him turn around a little bit, but it looks to me as though Mr. Castillo is out of the race.
Yeah,
Cy Young.
fair.
Speaking of not out of the race, though, fucking DeGromsky's, he's back, I think, boys. He looked pretty healthy in his last start. He's 3-2. Who cares? 5 quality starts, 45 innings pitched. His ERA is a 0.8, and that does not lead the league anymore. What the fuck? His WHIP is a 0.6, also not leading the league anymore. Can't believe it.
Who's
strike-
leading on those?
No clue, buddy. He
I
has
got
struck
you.
out 74 batters to only 7 walks. His ERA plus is still hanging up at a measly 4.78.
Good
His
God.
FIP is a 1.16, so obviously his ERA is a fluke because his FIP is double, but whatever. His K per 9 is a 14.8, and his hits per 9 is a 4. So he's kind of pretty fucking dominant when he's out there, and it's not really like we expected much else. It's Jake DeGrom. So as long as he's healthy and he's out on the mound, we're doing great.
Well, according to ESPN, he's leading in ERA.
Yeah,
Really?
same for MLB, but I don't know. They use the qualifying stats,
Right.
and I don't know if maybe Baseball Reference doesn't do that. So I don't know.
Either way, still dominant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the best. Is there anybody challenging that crown? I mean, I think we can talk about Corbin Burns. I think he's in the conversation at least.
I'd say
Is there-
Burns and Woodruff together, and don't sleep on Kevin Gossman out in San
Mhm,
Francisco
true.
either.
Darvish is still hanging in there in the conversation. He's been crushing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think it's going to be a tight little race. It'll be fun to see how the end of the season shapes up with the NL pitchers. I think actually both sides of pitching, because pitching is just otherworldly this year. So
Right.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun to see who they narrow down and why, and who they snub and who they don't. It'll be fun.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
real quick. It's actually DeGrom that technically doesn't qualify because of the time he missed.
Right.
Got it.
So he will once he gets a handful more starts. But right now, the reason Baseball Reference has him with a 0.8 but not leading the league is because by qualifying, Brandon Woodruff actually leads the league with a 1.27 ERA.
Got it.
So he just needs to pitch another game or two, and he'll be back in that qualifying category. So
That makes
Perfect.
sense.
Yep.
We'll move on here to the AL Cy Young race. Tone, you and I both have Lucas Giolito. He has definitely improved since April.
Yeah.
So looking at the stats now, he's 5-4. He's got 4 quality starts, so he's moving his way back up there. I think a couple of them came this month, actually, because April was not doing so well for Mr. Giolito.
No.
He's got 62 innings. He's lowered his ERA to a 3.73, lowered his WHIP to a 1.133. He struck out 78. He's walked 24. His ERA plus is a 1.10. FIP is 3.85, so he's pretty much on pace with his ERA there. He's striking out more batters again, up to 11.2, and his hits per 9 are down to 6.8.
Yeah, it sounds like he's just needs to get his command better a little bit and not walk so many batters because, you know, we've got him stacked up here next to Garrett Cole, and I mean he's striking out almost as many as Garrett Cole, and his hits per 9 are just slightly worse, you know, not much at all. So I think it comes down to walks and making sure that when they do have those 6 hits a game, that they're, you know, hopefully like on the ground or something,
Right.
not
Not in
over
the air.
fence, right?
Yeah,
So,
they're singles, and they're not like, you know, all like put together too, like all lumped together. Like if they have a single scattered here and there, and you can get that guy off the base with a, you know, sack, or not a sack fly, but like a tag up and a double play or a ground double play or whatever it may be. You know, just limit the damage when you do get those guys on base, and it seems like that's what he's doing now.
Absolutely. Eventually he'll get on to Garrett Cole's level, but until then, right now it's just Garrett Cole's award. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily his award to lose, but he's top 2, I would say, in the American League. So 9 quality starts is pretty amazing in, you know, 70 innings pitched. So he's averaging almost 8 innings a start right now.
Right.
He's got a 1.78 ERA to a league leading 1.71 FIP. So he's pitching exactly how you expect right now. He's actually 2nd in the AL in ERA behind Mr. Lance Lynn, and he's 5th in the whole MLB. And he is 3rd in the AL, also in 3rd in the MLB in total strikeouts. His Ks per 9, 12.4, hits per 9, 6.4, you guys mentioned. So I think it's probably between him and maybe Lynn. I don't know, maybe Bieber, but I think if you're looking top to bottom all the way around, it's probably Cole. And then, you know, the other guys we mentioned.
Glass now.
I mean, strikeouts, sure, he's having a good season. I'll give it to you. He's having a good season, but I still need to see him get past 100 innings, and he hasn't done it yet. So
He's fucking right there, dude. You're out of your mind.
Well, we'll see.
I do think it's going to be Garrett Cole. Like at this pace, it's his. But
Yeah.
I would just like to see, you know, Bieber step it back up and get onto his level, or Glasnow just keep rolling at the pace that he's at now. So Glasnow's got 98 strikeouts, so he's got more than Garrett Cole. He's got exactly 70 innings pitched. Garrett Cole's got 70.2. ERA is a 2.57, so that's a little bit higher than Cole's 1.78.
He's having a good year. There's no denying it.
Yeah,
so.
I'm just gonna keep going though, so that you know. Let's see, his WHIP this year is a 9.29. Garrett Cole's is an 8.35. Okay.
Who are you talking about, Ty?
This is Glasnow.
Who do you think?
Glasnow, gotcha.
Glasnow's K per 9 is 12.6. Cole's is a 12.4.
What's Glasnow's FIP?
Shit, I just closed it.
Are we ignoring John Means too?
Yeah, I'm ignoring John Means. Fuck that guy.
I'm ignoring everybody on Baltimore except for Trey Mancini, who, by the way, is 3rd in RBIs.
His FIP is a 2.97.
Okay, well, he's maybe not as good as you think he is.
Whatever, dude. We'll see at the end of the season when he fucking wins Cy Young. It's fine. Don't sweat it.
Okay. All right.
Is there anything else you want to add on there, Tone, to Giolito or Garrett Cole at all?
No, I think we just need to see how this all plays out. I mean, we know what Cole's going to do. Giolito has great stuff. He's just got to completely put it together. So
correct.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, let's talk about rookies of the year.
Let's not.
Dude, this is the worst of all time.
This is bad on both sides, like NL and AL for pretty much all of us, other than Dan's NL pick. I mean, it's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Hayes still hasn't had an at bat this month, so we're still stuck at the 1 for 5, the 200 average.
That was the easiest dude to update ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't have to do anything; just copied and pasted. Unbelievable.
Yep.
Well, Ian Anderson had himself a little better month. He added a couple quality starts. He's up to 5 now. He did lower his ERA, I believe, to 3.27. Lowered his WHIP to 1.255. So he's bringing it around a little bit. 59 Ks, ERA plus 131. I do like that. I just need him to get those hits per 9 down a little bit. He's hitting 7.7, which is not stellar. If he can get that down below even 6 and get that K per 9 up over 10, I think that would be pretty solid. I don't think he's got rookie of the year, but between him and Brian Hayes, he definitely does. So
right, no shit. Yeah, we're not even going to talk about Brian Hayes. I don't give a shit. We're going to move on to the AL Rookie of the Year race. So Tristan McKenzie not having a great season. Andrew Vaughn, he's looking all right. And Bobby Dahlbeck's starting to heat up finally. So, it's neither of these three's race to win, I don't think. I think Adolis is going to run away with it at this point. But, it's going to be nice to kind of keep track of these guys. Tone, you and I with Dahlbeck and Andrew Vaughn, we're kind of right on the same track with each other there.
Yeah.
Vaughn had a couple big dingers this last month too.
Yeah, he did. He's walked 15 times. He struck out 40, which is 14 less than Dahlbeck. He scored 19. He's got 12 RBIs, which is significantly less than Dahlbeck's. Dahlbeck's got 5 home runs. Vaughn's got 4. OPS plus is even right at 100, so I'll take it. And then you've got the OPS of 709, which could definitely be better. And I think it will get better for both of these players. But as of right now, man, they need to step their game up a bit.
Yeah. It kind of feels like a lost cause with Garcia doing what he's doing. But of these three, I think Vaughn has got a slight edge on Dahlbeck. But we'll see.
I would agree. And what's like, if you look at Tristan McKenzie's K per 9 and hits per 9, those are solid numbers. He just needs to quit walking people.
Yeah, he leads the league in walks, and he's not even in the majors right now.
Yeah, he's got 36 innings pitched and 33 walks. Like, dude, you've got to get that under control, and then he would be great after that. And just looking at the Ks per 9 and hits per 9, it looks fantastic. But, throw strikes, man. Throw strikes.
I think it was actually just today that he made a spot start for the Indians, and he struck out 8 consecutive batters.
Nice. Had a baby.
For the Cleveland Indians? Like, not for their mind? Like,
no, Cleveland today.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he was pitching today.
Yeah, they called him up again last week when Plesac went down to take his spot start, and he kind of held up a little bit. So they were like, all right, one more. So he pitched today, and apparently didn't do too terrible, but still, I expect way better from him. We talked him up so much that.
Oh, that's right. They had a double header today, so they had a 26 man. Forgot about that. Yeah, 5.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, but 10 Ks. So I can get on board with that. That's a step in the right direction. Yeah, almost a quality start if he gets 2 more outs.
How many earned runs did you say?
5.
Oh no, 5. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. Whew.
Yeah, that's a run inning right there. That's not good.
I was looking at. I saw the 4 hits.
Right.
Saw runs. So that's the cutoff, isn't it?
The 2 walks isn't bad comparatively speaking, right? And the 10 strikeouts is awesome. He's got the. How weird is that, man? How do you pitch 5 innings, strike out 10 guys, and let up 5 runs? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they just hit him hard and they hit him a lot. Like, you get those flamethrowers like that, and you can put the ball in play and things happen.
Out of 16 potential outs, he struck out 10 of them.
Right. I mean, and like as shitty as it is, he let up 5 earned runs today, but that's still almost 1 whole run less than his average allowed right now. So, improvement.
Hey, take it. Baby steps, baby.
Correct. But yeah, I think Adolis is kind of the guy for that. I don't think there's going to be much else competition in that race this year.
No.
Yep.
All right, fellers. Is that all we got for our predictions, our wrapping up on the review?
I believe so.
Let's jump into our
Alrighty.
boys.
Let's go ahead and get back and talk about our boys then. We will get into that here in just 1 second. So last week, I chose Garrett Cooper. Tone, you took Miguel Sano. And Dan, you had Randy Arozarena. So as of right now, Tone is leading the pack at 4.5 because he generously split 1 week with me. I've got 2.5. Dan, do better. That's all I got to say.
Bro, I'm fucking trying. I'm picking dudes that are doing well, and then they shit the bed. I picked Garcia 1 week, and it was his worst week of the season.
This is the most disrespectful game. It doesn't give a shit about you or your feelings at all.
You picked Jazz Chisholm, who's been awesome as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, probably one of the best second basemen in the league this year, and that was his week. He shit the bed, and then Jose Garcia shit the bed that week. And I'm gonna have to pick like DeGrom, and then he's gonna end up going on like the fucking season-ending IL.
Right.
That'll just be my luck this year.
Oh, God, please don't do that. All right. So as I said, Garrett Cooper, Miguel Sano, Randy Arozarena, Tone, who is in third place? My guy.
it's a me.
Not me. Not me.
All
Yeah,
right,
Miguel
improvement,
Sano. Miguel Sano didn't do so well. Started 5 games, played in 6, hit 1 home run. Yeah, I think it was like the night we recorded too. I was feeling really good, and yeah, he just shit the bed the rest of the week.
That was the only home run hit out of our 3 guys, just FYI.
Oh, interesting. Okay. But yeah, you can't bat .095 and be one of our boys, right?
Right, dude.
Yeah, OPS of 374, K'd 11 times. Let's move on. It wasn't good.
All righty, number 2, Randy A. Dan.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going in the right direction finally. 4 for 20, so an even 200 average. But I mean, it was just not great after that. He only slugged 250. His on base was 292. So I mean, that's not great. As you mentioned, the only home run hit, so he didn't hit one. Did have a double, a couple RBIs, 3 walks, and 6 Ks. But yeah, I'm sure he'll have 7 home runs next week, though. So
You know he will.
Right. I mean, he scored 6 runs, so like at least out of the minimal things that he did, he was being productive. Like, he drove in 2, he scored 6. He only struck out 6 times. So
yeah, I mean, 6 of the 7 times he was on base, he came across the plate.
Right.
Yep. All right. Our winner. Look at that white boy. My goodness.
It was so hard to crop his face because he just blended in with the background. But I got it on there. Here we are, Mr. Garrett Cooper. Played in 6 games. He only started 3 of them. I think it was Monday when I picked him. He went 2 for 3 that night, and I was like, fucking sick, because it was off the bench. I was like, oh, hell yeah, bro. But throughout the week then, he got 6 hits, which is more than you guys almost combined, the same amount.
Thank you for that.
I had 15 at bats, or Mr. Cooper did, not me, myself. His slash line was 462, 533, 538, and a 1.072 OPS. Pretty good considering he had 0 home runs and 1 double. So obviously that on base and that slugging, just getting up there, made for that good. 500 on base is crazy anyways. So, you're going to have a solid OPS when you have that. Just 1 double, 2 RBIs. He only scored 1 run. He walked twice and only struck out 3 times. So had it not been for those extra couple hits, it would have been a very close race here, I think, between me and Dan for first place. But I'll take what I can get. I love winning. I want to thank my mom and my fans and God. And thanks for being on my side on this this comeback journey that I'm on. So 1 game back of Tone. Oh,
Coming for me, dude.
God, it feels so good too. Just feels so good. All right, now we're going to talk about this upcoming week. I won. I'll go ahead and just dig into it. I'm going to let my nuts kind of hang a little bit. James Kaprelian for the Oakland A's. He's actually had a pretty decent year so far in his 4 games. So he's 2-0, a 1.37 ERA. He's got 19.2 innings pitched. So it's not like he's really going deep. But even in those 19 innings, he's got 21 strikeouts and a .92 whip. So I'm really, really, really excited to see what he's got. He kind of came out of nowhere to me. I don't think I even heard his name before the season, if we're being honest. So now that I know who he is, I'm paying a lot more attention to him.
Sure.
He's actually starting against the Mariners right now. So I don't know what he's doing. Could be blowing up, could be doing great, but who knows? And he will also be pitching against the Rockies in Denver at some point this weekend. So really gonna test old Caprillion out there.
Didn't you pick somebody else that started in Colorado once
Sure
this year?
did. It was Logan Webb.
And he got lit the fuck up that night too.
Yep. Yeah, that he did.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Dan.
I'll say I'll do mine here, and we'll let Tone round it out. So I am going with Willie Adames. He has been like a completely different player since that trade to Milwaukee, right? So since being acquired, he's 10 for 30, 2 doubles, a home run, 7 RBIs with a slash line. Go ahead.
That home run was a big home run too.
Yeah, it was. With a slash line of 333, 429, 500, and a 929 OPS. He's also got this week, he's got Detroit, which he played today. And fair warning, like he did 1 for 4, 2 RBIs. We can completely get rid of that if you don't want to include it into the weekly standings. But he also has Arizona, and they are dog shit right now. So I'm hoping that he can continue his hot play against some bad teams. Because
Tom, what were you coughing about there, Tone? What happened?
That was actually a real cough. I missed the mute button. I went to click the mute button, and I literally I clicked it and then went like that. And then I looked down. I was like, "Oh, my sound's still live."
It sounded so fake.
I know. No, and my allergies are killing me right now. And if you're watching, you can see my mute button going the whole freaking show, man. I've been coughing my ass off, and
it just an update before you do yours, Tone. Caprillion went 3.2, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts, just so you know.
I know. I looked it up, and I was pretty pissed. I looked it up right before Tone coughed, so...
you think that was why I was coughing? Like, score.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought you did. Like, damn, you dickhead.
All right, boys. I'm going with Thomas Edman this week. Aside from me being a Cardinals fan, he's so fun to watch, and just really leading the way at the top of the Cardinals lineup. He is leading all of baseball in plate appearances and at bats. So he's a mainstay right there. Batting 276. He's solid. Not a huge power guy. OPS of 730. He's only slugging 396. So not a big power guy at all. But when he needs to, he can pop. He popped 2 in the game the other day against Carlos Rodon. And, anyways, who's he got coming up? Dodgers could be tough. And then 4 at home against Cincy. So I'm curious, but 7 games this week. Mm-hmm. I want to see what he can do.
Those games against Cincy will probably be pretty good for him. Probably going to be a couple high scoring games. If you had asked me, it's going to be like a 8-6 or 9-7 games or whatever. So he's going to have lots of opportunities out there to get that done.
Yeah.
But I want to show the fans your artwork, Tone. You ready for this?
Oh my God, yes.
Ready.
Ooh,
look at those our boys.
God,
ready to
boys this week.
Duke it out, man.
Jeez. Well, I think old Caprillion needs to move to the back real quick. But other than that, I agree. Other than that, I am on board.
They won't be in that order come next week. But
true. That seems to be a wrap for the old episode, though, boys, huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I just want to thank everybody for coming out and listening. If you're here on the Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube live stream, we super appreciate you. If you want to talk to us on those platforms, we're at Upper Decker Pod on all of them. Just go search us, talk to us, DM us, do whatever, tag us in some dumb shit. I mean, we love looking at dumb baseball stuff. So all day, every day, bring it on. One of us will see it. I do real quick want to talk about our slow pitch softball / cornhole tournament that we are hosting August 28th. If you were in the St. Louis area, email us at upperdeckerpod2020@gmail.com. Just say what's up, touch base with us, and we'll send you the registration link and get you all signed up for that. if you want to listen to the show, Tone, where can they do that, good buddy?
You can do that pretty much anywhere. You can go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, several platforms. If you want to see a list of all the platforms we're available on, you can visit us on Anchor at anchor.fm/upperdeckerpod. If you are listening to us at any of those places, please go and leave us a review or a rating. Give us 5 stars or just tell us we're doing a great job. We love to hear the feedback, and it helps us kind of move up and get our name seen a little bit more. And if you would like to help us in other ways, you can donate monetarily, and Dan will tell you how to do that.
Absolutely. You can head on over to the link on the screen here, anchor.fm/upperdeckerpod/support. You can sign up to be a monthly contributor for 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99. If you'd rather just send us a one-time donation, that's fine too. Just reach out to us at any of the socials that Ty mentioned, or reach out to us at upperdeckerpod2020@gmail.com, and we will get you a link on how to do that. You can also hit us up on paypal.me/upperdeckerpod if you just want to send us some cash. We're on there as well. All of that money, as we've already mentioned, goes right back into the show. It got new mics for Ty and Tone. It helps set up the website here, so you can visit upperdeckerpod.com. All of the merch that's on there is available because of that as well. So check it out. We're adding merch pretty much every week or every other week right now. We've got 5 designs up there right now. And keep an eye on the website too. Over the course of the next month and a half or so, it'll change pretty dramatically. We'll have all of our episodes will be on there, all the videos, links to all the platforms that we broadcast on, as well as the shop, of course. So it'll be really cool, and maybe a couple written pieces, who knows, depending on what we're in the mood for. So it'll be really cool. Just go ahead and bookmark it, upperdeckerpod.com, and keep checking back every week or so.
Good deal. Thank you, Dan, for doing all that, because I don't know what any of it means and how to do it. So again, we just want to thank you all for coming out, listening, and participating here. Tone, you're playing with some baseball cards, buddy. You're not even.
Yeah, I was trying to find one, but it's all right.
It's okay. We're just gonna leave the fans with this one until episode 67 next week here on the Upper Decker Podcasts.